Flexing with that clean intro. Ooh.
Exactly. Oof. Yeah, that's crazy that an AI created that intro. Uh, Shout out to everyone joining. Glad to have you in for what's in your portfolio. I saw you in there, Logan. Glad to have you in. Welcome back. So glad to have you in your Phoenix too. Definitely, definitely a good morning to all you folks as we talk about what's in your portfolio and how we're going to prepare for this downturn that may be coming. Got a lot of crazy things that are going to be coming out this week that everybody must be prepared for. Oh, shout out to XRP Army. Definitely got to have yourself some XRP. Glad to have you in here. Um, so let's before we get going, just want to introduce myself. If you're new to the channel, this my name is Sal. We got Cody over here. We've both been into crypto for a couple years now. Cody a little longer than me. He's the one that got me into crypto. Also, I also run a moving business. I have a detailing shop as well as I'm investing in a few other businesses, and I was registered as an accredited investor, so I can invest in private equity stocks as well as many other things. So I do a lot, and here we're going to go over what I do every week to kind of show you guys how I have to transfer everything around, how I prepare for downturns, upturns, getting ready to go. Think my decisions on my own portfolio, my own wealth. As you guys know, as we always say, Cody and I aren't playing with playing money. We're playing with our own money, our real hard-earned money. So any loss is definitely a real loss. So just keep that in mind. And I also want to say it is open forum for you guys. So if you guys have any questions, definitely shoot them in the morning in the chat there on TikTok, or if you're on the other streams, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, just put it in there in the chat. We definitely appreciate it. Also, the link to join live if you want to share your thoughts live. It's on YouTube, so you can click that link and I'll bring you on and we can go over your opinion and where you think you're going and things like that. Or if you just want to ask a general question live, hey, that's what we're here for. So we're all glad to have you in here. Thanks for all the support. You guys are already starting to come in pretty quickly. Now I want to say that we always do a show in the morning, Monday through Friday, crypto morning chat, 8:30 a.m. Central Time, and of course, what's in your portfolio at 9 a.m. Central Time for you guys to go over what's in my portfolio, what's in Cody's portfolio, how we're adapting, how we're changing, our thoughts on what we're going to add, what we're going to take away, things like that.
Oh yeah. My goal is to be like you, Sal, to be an accredited investor because, I'm only 22. I have a pretty decent amount of investments for my age, but I know one day, based off everything that I have invested right now, I will get to that point to be an accredited investor.
Exactly, and that just takes time. And Cody's only coming up on 23, so that's amazing that he's within probably the next 3 or 4 years can become an accredited investor,
Hmm.
which does allow you to get into a little bit more risky adventures. So, but shout out to Logan, welcome back. You have a blessed day as well, brother. Glad to have you in. Shout out to Barry Beans. Good morning, guys. Coffee with Sal and Cody. Yep, I got my coffee right here. We're
I do
ready to
too.
go. And also, I want to shout out to thanks TJ for the follow. Really appreciate that. I do also want to say we do have our Patreon, which you can join for just $3 to support the channel. You also get exclusive content. You get access to the Discord. So and you can message us pretty much throughout the day on the Discord channel. Myself and Cody were there. You can definitely ask us any questions regarding any investments, whether it's business, real estate, crypto, stocks. Although Cody is the resident crypto expert, I'm still have a lot to learn in that aspect, but I do know what I want to invest in, and I got my blue chips covered, and we'll go over that in a second with my portfolio. But before we really get going into this stream here, and the link to join the Patreon and subscribe to YouTube is in the bio for TikTok as well, so you can go check those out. And all the replays are on YouTube and Rumble under Simply Investing 6638. So with that said, before we get going in here, I'm gonna quickly go over just where we're at on the market wise because we've been kind of going sideways like crazy. So we got Bitcoin sitting at a little over 30,000. It's about flat for the day, but up 15% for the week. Ethereum still in the 1900 range, about 0.5% up, but close to 10% up on the week. We got XRP still a little flat at 49 cents, about 0.5% up on the week as well. Then we got Polkadot up 12%.
Polkadot's finally moving, man. Polkadot was very slept on, and not only that, Polkadot was very slow in price movement, and it's good to see Polkadot finally shining a little bit. And we also got Polkadot shining in development activity as well. The Polkadot is currently #1 on GitHub activity and commits, and that's good to see.
Yep. And it's looking like the graph, just a quick look at the graph here, it looks like Polkadot's still on the rise up. But as we were talking yesterday, Polkadot was in the 450s range. Now we're looking at 515, 3% up on the day, 12% up on the week. Now we do have we're at Chainlink, one I just got into, almost 20% up on the week at 624. So that was definitely a good entry point. As you guys know, last Sunday I bought quite a bit of Chainlink, so I might just shave some profits off just to keep my position. But we're up 3% on the day. Atom, same thing, almost 3% up on the day, almost a little over 10% up on the week. And we got another one of my favorites, Hedera, up almost 15% on the week, up pretty much flat on the day, about still in the 5-cent range. We have good old Crow actually made an 8% rebound for the week, but still flat for the day. And then we have Quant, which is only up 5% and up almost 1.5% at $106.36. So Quant's still holding this range between 100 and 105, 106, and sometimes bouncing as high as 107. But we'll have to see, because there still is quite a bit of nice volume and buy pressure on Quant, and of course the exchanges are desperate to get their hands on it.
Oh yeah, you're about to see some from me, because I'm about to have 52 Quant tokens, like 53. Exactly. And not only that, not only that, I'm adding up on my ETH bag as well.
There we go. And also, Cody did make a recent purchase on Quant, but he's going to make some more in the coming weeks. And then, of course, we got some of the tokens we follow, like the Render token is up only 3%, but it's down 3% as well on the day, but up 3% on the week. We got Mana up almost 18%, but only up about 1.5% on the day, but almost 18% on the week. So we got some actual movement action on there in the gaming tokens area with Gala, Mana, Sandbox, and all that. Then
Mana went crazy last bull run.
And of course, Axie Infinity almost up 20%. Now we got another one that's Kava, which works off the Cosmos blockchain, which is up 40% from on the week, 9%, a little over 9% on the day, hovering around $1.12. But if you guys I was in that only for the high staking. It's now they did away with the high staking, so I'm no longer carrying Kava. So that's just thing. I probably won't be looking back into it, but it's just interesting to see that it's having such a huge price action right now.
Oh,
and that's really it. We got another one we follow, Sucoin, kind of flat, not really moving with the markets. And of course, you got the meme coins. I think I saw Pepe here. Pepe up 63% on the meme coin, but I don't know if it's going to have I don't know if it's going to keep that momentum forever, though. But it looks like we're down about 4% on the day. And of course, going with the meme coins, we go back up here to find Dogecoin. It's up 7.5% for the week, but kind of flat. It's still hovering a little less than 7 cents. So, but with that said, we're going to get into this and start talking about our portfolios and everything.
Speaking of our portfolios, I will say I looked at the Polkadot staking dashboard today, and I'm not going to say they, because it's not a person changing it, it's the code. But currently, the minimum amount to stake Polkadot on chain is 400 Polkadot, which is an increase from 368. So it increased about 32 dot.
Okay, and usually that increases to cover the to keep the price action from being too volatile.
Hmm. It makes me want to buy shit. I'm buying more. I wasn't even thinking about buying more polka dot, even though I have a lot of polka dot already. But because they changed that, I always got to be a certain number. I always want to be a certain number up from the minimum. I always at least want to be 100 to 200 above the minimum, just so nothing could happen with my staking. So if
Shout
it says 400 dot, you want to be at 5 or 600 dot.
exactly. I right now I got 930, about 900 dot, but we're probably going to increase that. Be even still with it being already up the 515,
You're
still
gonna
pretty
have
high.
you're gonna have $50,000 in just in dot at all time high. So
Yep. Shout out to Barry Beans. JM Bullion Gold Exchange is taking Dogecoin now, and Money Metal Exchange is taking Shiba. Yes, I did hear about that, but I mean that's good for those coins, but it didn't really show a lot of price action on there. But it's only because I think a lot of those coins, meme coins, rely on retail investors,
yeah.
and if they don't know about that information, it doesn't. And I don't think that really affects the retail investor.
I
But
think someone in our Discord talked about Dogecoin yesterday, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but Dogecoin has a lot of use cases when it comes to how many people are taking Dogecoin. A lot of people take Dogecoin, and not only that, it's
mhm.
not a security and it's not a rug pull. So yeah, you can joke about Dogecoin being a meme coin, but you can't say it's a rug pull. It's not a rug pull, and you can't say that it's useless because a lot of people take it. So I don't hold any Dogecoin. I don't plan on buying Dogecoin. But Dogecoin's just that weird coin to where, yeah, it's a meme coin, but it's also legit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do see, I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing like McDonald's, KFC, Taco Bell, kind of the staple, like Burger King, like staple fast food places starting to take Doge and Shiba as payment. And who knows, maybe Elon Musk will follow through with using Doge and Shiba on Twitter too. But
Yeah,
I don't see those rising until the bull run happens. Then those coins are going to start rising. So, but
yeah,
to me,
those are
it's
bull
more
market
like
coins.
a lottery. Yeah, it's more like a lottery entry. Just put your lottery ticket in and see if you win. But let me switch the gears here and pull up my portfolio here. Oh man, I gotta find where's the window there. You know what? I think I gotta do that. There we go. Okay. It's got to actually be open. Okay. So I hope you guys can see this right here. So if you are on the Patreon, you would have already known that I added Orc to my portfolio, which is another mortgage exchange company. Oh, excuse me. But before we do that, here are all the cryptos I'm in, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Atom, Dot, Quant, Crow, Link, soon to be Litecoin. Not officially yet. As you can see here, if you're watching on YouTube, I have not put anything in it yet. And of
What is
course, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Never
Cody.
mind. I was just about to ask what work is, but you just explained it. So never mind. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So as you can see here, I'm up about 11%, but that actually, with my dollar cost averaging in over the last 4 weeks, that I'm really about back to where I was at the beginning of May. So all we really did was take the relief run brought me back to where we are. And if we're looking at the stocks, which I know which you guys, what is the ticker of shout out to Caddy? Welcome back into the stream. What is the ticker of your new coin? I added Link last week, as you guys know, so it's LINK. And then I'm going to be adding in Litecoin, which is LTC, I believe. And then the one I added to my stocks is Orc, which is just another mortgage lending mortgage security firm, which they make very high earnings per share, and they give out very high dividends, and they reduce the amount of shares that they have now. So they did kind of like how a stock split is. They did the reverse of that, a reverse split. So they kind of merged 7 shares into one. So everybody's shareholdings went down a little bit. So now the dividends went up on there. Yeah, ORC is for the stocks. So if you can look it up on Robinhood or Ameritrade or whatever platform that you're on. As you can see here, even though it says I have an 8% increase, about 140,000 of that is from an ORC investment. So you take that out, I'm actually down about 20,000 for the week for this week from last week. But I'd say I'm probably up overall, probably about 2-3%, which is pretty good. Market seems to be going at like a 1%. Most firms are getting 1 to 2%, so I'll take a 3% up on it. As far as my businesses, moving, it's still about steady. We're still making some moves there. I haven't made much changes into my private equity holdings. They're just kind of the same. I know that Ripple and Uphold, the private equity funding round has ended, so you can't really get. I can't get any more of those until they make another thing. I haven't really checked on my Betterment and Wealthfront. I kind of ignore those. I just kind of get them really once a quarter. So I should be getting my statement in the next month in July. So I'll be able to update that for you, which will probably be either a nominal change or I'm going to be down about 3 to 5%, which is what I expect on those. And that's, if anyone knows, those are what I call my reserve. And that's if I blow up everything here, all my businesses, everything else, I still have that for my retirement, which is more than enough for what I need. So with that being said, that's pretty much it. And for those of you guys who are curious, I pay myself 95,000 a year on my moving side as a salary, 95,000 a year on my max auto, and I do have about 3.2 million in mortgage debt for my properties, which actually I haven't updated that because next month I'm going to add in the new property that I added in. We haven't even started cleaning it up yet, so it's going to be at a net loss probably for a couple months because there's going to be no tenants in it as I clean up the property, get new kitchen equipment in, get new countertops because I do not like that fake what do you call it? The fake that particle board fake counter at Reynolds. I hate that stuff
I
because
hate it. Yeah.
things fall out, like the drawers come apart. I'm putting like nice quartz countertops. It it will increase the rent by like $50 to get quartz countertops in there for the rest, and I don't even care because I have so much equity in the property. I could spend quite a bit more to get a little bit better, and I don't like putting in cheap appliances. I like putting in GE appliances because they tend to last and hold up to rental to tenants and stuff. But I do have to fix like plumbing, putting in new toilets. Like it seems like the previous owner just fixed things as they went because some stuff was new. Then you go to another apartment and it's like the washer and dryer from like 30 years ago, and the toilet looks like it's been there since the building was built. So I'm kind of hoping to get all that done in the next 2 months, get everything gutted, put in nice anti-scratch vinyl flooring, new carpets in the bedrooms, new tile and everything in the in the bathrooms. Like I gotta modernize this stuff, like, and still try to keep it at a reasonable rent. Although anything in this area now with rent is going to be a little high there. So even if I rent these things out $1,200, $1,300, which is crazy, I'm still down like $500, $600 on it. But that's what my portfolio What's in my portfolio? Let me go to here, back here for you guys. So, shout out to Barry Beans. Um, no XLM, not really. I think I got sufficient hedge with quant and everything, but I do keep an eye out. And not saying that it's good. It's just like I can only focus on so many. Shout
Yeah.
out to Caddy. Uh, you're getting it. Nice job. Hey, appreciate your support. I try to work hard every day to build and grow. Our next segment is we're going to be talking about what's going on, because there's a lot of things that are going to be coming out over this week. But shout out to Buddy Bales, thanks for the follow. Shout out for Eric Campbell, thanks for the follow as well. Glad to have you guys in here. If you guys can like and share the stream, get as many people in here as we can, it would be amazing. But thank you guys for all your support. So Cody, do you want to go over what's in your portfolio? I got
Yes. Currently, I'm sitting at about 45 quant. I'm sitting at 530 Polkadot, and I'm sitting at zero point 0.5 ETH, and I'm currently building that up. My goal is to have 5 ETH by the end of this year, 100 quant, and 1,000 dot. 5 Ethereum, 1,000 dot, 100 quant. Those are my absolute goals for the end of this year. I'm currently staying away from BS projects. I'm staying away from anything that has Ponzi-nomics, anything that tries to guarantee returns, anything that sounds too good to be true. Like, yeah, I understand you got to make some risky moves to get the bag. Because if you put it all in Bitcoin, you put it all in ETH, you're gonna have less chances of having retire money. I understand that, but there's like too many degen projects out there, too many. And like Sal said, I like to only focus on a little bit. I can only focus on so much. Especially with how much it depends on how much income you make too. But mostly, even if I did make a lot of income, I'd still only stick to like 3 or 4 cryptos at most.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to do the shotgun approach to your investments, because then you got too much money everywhere. What you want to do is focusing on the projects you understand, focusing on the projects that you personally think are going to make it, and that you understand and you know how they work. So that way you can build upon that. Then once you get those to a comfortable level, we can start adding in a couple other investments. So like with crypto, I don't try to do more than 10 coins. Cody doesn't try to do more than 5. With stocks, I don't really like, my dividend portfolio generally has no more than 20, and then like my personal picks that are non-dividend stocks that I'm buying for future potential or growth on the stock, it's only like 5. I only have 5 of those.
Yeah, and honestly, after next bull run, my plan, and here's my roadmap. After next bull run, I plan on buying into the S&P 500 with a lot of my profits. That's going to be a small amount of my net worth. I'd say if I come out of next bull run with $200,000, let's say, I'd probably invest 50,000 of it into the S&P 500 right away. And then after that, I'd buy myself a car for about 5 to 10,000 because I'm currently carless right now. And so that's $60,000 right there. So with the remaining bit of my money, I'd probably owe about 10,000 of it to taxes, maybe. And then I just pretty much try to get into real estate and just pretty much just get around wealthy people and just be a sponge and just absorb as much as I can because by the time next bull run comes, I'll be about 24 years old. And being 24 years old with 6 figures of your own money liquid, like that's a good amount. Because they say all it takes is your first 100,000. You make your first 100,000, I mean, it's inevitable you can get to 1 million if you do the right things.
Exactly. And it's also once you get, your hardest journey is getting to that first million. But once you get there and then you get to your second million, after that, as long as you're doing things right and you're not taking an emotional approach, you should be able to get that momentum going.
What
And
I've
getting to 10 should be very easy.
what I've heard is your first 100K is the hardest, but once you make your first 100K, 1 million's inevitable.
Exactly. Well,
I mean,
and that's
anybody you can make 100K from a job, but with a job, you're being paid in increments over time, and that money can be spent, throughout the year. Having $100,000, $150,000 all, in your bank or liquid. That's a different story in my eyes.
Exactly. And shout out to Caddy. I'm full blown shotgun gunning it. I got like 35 now. It might be time to reduce a little bit, but it's also your personal preference. Like that's just how Cody and I do things.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about this because this could severely hurt, could sway how things are going. I want to just put this out there. We got the release of the economic data with the unemployment claims that are coming at the end of this month on Wednesday, on the 28th. So we're looking at here, because we already had the CPI data come out. We already had all that other stuff coming out. Now we're going to have to see the overall unemployment statistics come out that are for May, the first round of the numbers. And what's going to happen is that if these numbers are still coming too low, they're going to start raising interest rates again next month. I guarantee it. They're going to start raising interest rates again, and they might not do a 0.25, which is what I assume they'll do, like 0.25 for the next like year and a half. They're probably going to do like a 0.5, 0.75. So how we're going to prepare for that is like if you got a lot of like higher risky picks, especially in crypto with meme coins and stuff, they're the most volatile. So this is where it might be like to consolidate down to like the blue chip ones, because they only go down about 10-15% when this news hits, and then you can dollar cost average in and make a lot of money back as the market rebounds from it. But I'm thinking unemployment's hasn't gone down. And this is just from me looking at areas. Now, I will say this. I have seen more and more spots open in commercial rental areas. So like the strip malls, the commercial buildings, I'm seeing businesses starting to close down.
Yep.
And I'm starting to see more and more rental signs for lease everywhere. Shout out to Asset Farmer. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. I'm seeing more and more of that happen. And as I get further out of Northwest Arkansas, I see it more and more and more. But what the weird thing is that people are still, whether it's in Kansas City, St. Louis, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Dallas, or any other major cities that I've been to recently, they are still building new commercial rental properties, like the small warehouses, the big warehouses, things like that. So construction jobs have not slowed down at all. It's just that they're switching from residential to that. But then we got the housing market as well. While new home purchases are down significantly, or just home buying is down significantly, but they're still building new home properties. Like right above where I currently live right now, just like maybe like a 5-minute drive north of me, there's a whole new property that has been built, and they already laid out the work for it. And by my warehouse, they're already laying down more streets and stuff like that for a neighborhood. And right across from my office here, there's another neighborhood right in the woods where they're bulldozing that stuff down. So it's kind of an interesting thing. So I'm guessing we're probably going to be in the 1-2% range in unemployment, and that's probably going to entice the Fed to say, okay, we're going to have to keep pushing higher, because what they're aiming for is, and really for a healthy economy, we really need about a 5-6% unemployment rate. But the fact that we're sitting at 2-3% means the only people who really are unemployed are kids and elderly people. And even elderly people are going back into the workforce. So that's not a good sign right now. And that puts too much selling pressure on the monetary value of the dollar, as more people are constantly needing it and constantly spending it. So in order for them to curb the dollar devaluing and as well as like curb the economy, they're going to have to raise interest rates and put another like 3 or 4 million people out of work. Unfortunately, that's how the Fed is thinking. So
Yeah.
I think that they're going to go. So in this scenario, what I would say is like how I'm preparing my portfolio is that I'm going to be buying more Walmart, more Bank of America, and more AT&T and T, and more healthcare and BlackRock.
Higher liquid assets. It makes sense.
Yes, and if it goes that way, then I do foresee foreclosure rates increasing. Now, there's already been you already can see a lot of YouTubers talking about foreclosure rates going up, but we didn't go up significantly. What happened was it was like we went up from like 1%. What we really did was 1% of mortgages were foreclosed upon, and we went from 1% to 1.5%, which is a lot, but it is happening now. A lot of that is because you had a lot of people buy a lot of Airbnbs. A lot of people bought along with these real estate gurus and stuff like that. So those are going to end.
Yes.
I could see that on my cleaning side, on my cleaning company side. The the Airbnb rentals are the customers we had for 2 years. They're no longer. They've just abandoned the property. I think one team showed up and there's no furniture, no nothing in there. They were already gone. I didn't tell us or anything. So that means that to me is a sign that 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 property is going into foreclosure.
Yep.
So if you're looking to get into real estate, these next 1 to 2 years are going to be crucial because I think we're going to keep going down. Now, I do see a lot of people like I'm working on a property that is being returned to has been returned to the bank, and it's about like 85 doors, and we're trying to see how low they're willing to go. But when this happens and company and people and businesses start giving back the keys and saying we're no longer going to do the debt servicing, the bank gets the property and they're going to have to start liquidating these assets, which means we're going to have a nice price drop on real estate values to get in. But that also means there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be homeless or like temporarily homeless because they have the money and the wealth to get to be able to get a home, but they just can't right now. And with rental properties being at like 98% occupancy rate, which is usually unheard, usually about like 90%. There's always a couple that are getting cleaned up. There's always like 10% of your units that are being made available, but that's not happening this time. You're looking at a rental property coming up, filling up, and then that's it. And it's like it's getting to the point where I can see that we're going to be running. It's going to be a very interesting time, especially if you got more and more people going into unemployment. You're going to have these new rental properties go more and more vacant, and thus they're going to get they're going to quit the debt servicing and kind of hand it over. So shout out to Kia. Glad to have you back in here. Welcome back to the stream. Thank you for all your support. Shout out to a couple others. I see a lot of other regulars coming back in. Really appreciate the support. Um, I mean, what are your overall thoughts to what's potentially going on there, Cody?
Well, like everything you're saying, we're seeing more foreclosures. The unemployment, it needs to be higher. Actually, I agree with everything you're saying. Everything you're saying is actually what I've been hearing too. I've been researching a lot about all this, the macroeconomics of it, and what you're saying is what I've been hearing a lot too. And I'm just basically I'm at a risk tolerance to where I can have lower liquid assets because overall, my lower liquid crypto assets like Quant, Polkadot, my more risky ones, like I believe those are going to prevail next bull run. So while they're still going down because of the macro and all that, and Benjamin Cohen would probably call me an idiot, but I'm sticking to my strategy and I know it's going to work. And if it doesn't, hey, I'll be young enough to recover. But I doubt, all my picks are going to go to zero. I doubt any of them are like scammy to where, oh, it's going to zero. I can't see Polkadot zeroing out. I can't see Quant zeroing out. I can't see Ethereum zeroing out. So it's like, I'm just ignoring the noise and I'm doing me.
Exactly. And what I also want to say is, we're not just talking about crypto zeroing out too. This can apply to businesses as well. I,
Yes.
I can't speak now. Apple and Microsoft, they have a high cash holdings, probably not going to go out. But like BlackRock, like any firm like that, they're one bad decision away from getting wiped out. And you guys got to remember, even Lehman Brothers was 150 years old, was around for generations, had lots of money, lots of assets, but they made a bad decision in the leveraging real estate market, and they blew up their company. So BlackRock can go to zero, AT&T can go to zero, Coinbase can go to zero, Walmart can go out of business, Bank of America can go out of business. Like these things.
I see it unlikely for Walmart though. Walmart's just too big of a. Walmart's just too giant.
Well, like I said, I because Radio Shack was also about to was was valued at a all time high of like 10.5 billion, and no one ever thought it was going to go anywhere. And then in like 5 short years, it imploded. So, and with financial companies, that could happen even quicker. It could happen like we could be sitting here right now not knowing that some company is going to go bankrupt Monday morning because they won't have the assets to recapitalize their firm. So
Exactly.
investing is really really risky. And if you can't not comfortable with that level of risk, then you need to put the money towards safer assets, and which I would say let a trading firm manage it for you, because one will be FDIC insured. So if stuff does go to zero, you do get your money back. If the investment firm makes a bad decision, and let's just say they put money with someone like a Madoff type, you get your money back. That's what FDIC is for, and the the insurance that they have, and make sure that others have good insurance on there. Shout out to Frazier, glad to have you in here. Welcome back to the stream, and shout out to Caddy. You're spot on with it. Well, we try to just analyze the data as best we can, but you got to remember this is really just a prediction off of hundreds of millions of people's decisions that are happening in the economy. So I don't know where we're going to go with that, and how they're going to behave. It's like they could behave in the opposite, but I do see retail investors getting smarter and smarter and smarter. Believe it or not, I know in the from being a trader, the common sentiment about retail investors is that they're stupid. I don't think that retail investors are stupid. I think they're getting more and more educated, and they're
Yes.
learning to watch reports. They're watching things. YouTube has definitely had a big impact on it, even with some of the YouTubers not really giving good advice or being really good at it. It's just that the people are starting to pay attention now. Now the thing is that many people have failed and have lost a lot. Now it's time to see, are they just going to say the whole thing's a scam, or are they going to get back in and start really doing their own research? And this is where I say your research is important.
You
And
want to know my observation of it all?
yeah, go ahead, Cody.
So my observation of it all is, times are getting harder. People are seeing less opportunity when it comes to making wealth because you have the dollar, the value of the dollar going down, and a lot of people want to get wealth. A lot of people want money. They want to change their lives, and that's
Hmm.
what's happening with retail investors. When you have a bunch of people like us who are wanting to change their lives, want to get economically smarter, want to take risks, and they want to actually educate themselves on these type of assets, that's what's happening. And more people are becoming smarter. More and more people are wanting to change their financial situation. Most people do. It's just about how everybody wants to become wealthy. I hate when people say, "Oh, you don't want it bad enough." Everybody wants it bad enough. The thing is how to get there. And there's no shortage of desire. What's the shortage is, how people think to get there. And a lot of people are realizing that
I mean, I believe there's a lot of opportunity out there, but most people are feeling like there's not. Most people are feeling like life is rigged. We're controlled, and the money is controlled. The supply of it all, it's all controlled, and there's a lot of wealthy people, and there's also a lot of poor people. But people are just getting smarter, and they're trying to change their lives.
Exactly. And what you got is I think everybody wants to earn money, but I don't think everyone wants to be like a mega rich person. I think a lot of people, what you guys really want is just to earn enough wealth to where you can be comfortable and do the things you want to do instead of having to work the job you hate to get to just make ends meet. And I get that. We've all been in that position where we worked a job where we hated it, but we made the money. Like I can't tell you how many times I was at Radio Shack. I hated working there, but I liked my $180,000 salary that I was making, and it. I don't ever want to be in that position. I know a lot of you don't want to be in that position, but if you are in that position, then we need to make sure we make the smartest decisions we can with the money and the assets that you have, so we can get to where you want to be, which is financial freedom. And you don't need a lot to have financial freedom. You just need to be able to say, "Hey, I already have my retirement covered. I already have my livelihood covered. I'm working, but now I can work because I want to work, not because I have to." Now you can pick a opportunity that you enjoy, that you see yourself enjoying for many years, that may not make a lot of money or may take a long time to make a lot of money. I know my brother wants to be a writer and he can do that now, and he wants to go live in New Zealand and be a writer, and he may or may never make any money from it, but we're at the point now he doesn't have to. He can do something he enjoys rather than do something he has to do, if that makes any sense. But with that said, I don't got too much more, but we got a lot of information coming out. We got the Ripple SEC case um coming to an end. We got how should I put it? We got the economic data coming out. We got four firms with their Bitcoin ETFs. The decisions on those coming soon, and of course we got the SEC Wells cases against all these other cryptos and exchanges coming out too. So we'll have to see how that goes. Plus, we have also the exchanges fighting back the SEC with outlining their corruption and their lack of separation and everything. So it's going to be pretty interesting for you guys. I hope you guys like the portfolio series because we really just go over what's in there, where we think we're going, and overall, I think we're still in a very bullish state of crypto. I mean, the greed index is at pretty high, my all time high for me, because I've never been in a crypto market with all time greed. It's always been low, the high fear.
Oh, I've been there with 100 greed.
So yeah, Cody's been there at the beginning of the bull market all the way through, and we've been dollar cost averaging in all the way through for the last year and a half. The stock market's looking like it's probably still got a little ways to go before it really bottoms out. But you got all the AI and tech industry pumping now because of AI and everything. And then of course you still got people scared about what's going to happen in the world. We also have Russia having a civil war now with and basically half their army fighting back against themselves, like defecting. And then you got more army people defecting, which was kind of foreseeable because not a lot of people know Ukraine and Russia. A lot of people in Russia have family in Ukraine, so this wasn't going to play out well. But we understand the dynamics, the political dynamics of what was going on. So we have that. We do have the stability. We have the cost of fuel and energy going down, but that's only because the federal government is releasing the reserves to curb the pricing. Otherwise, we would have like $8-9 gas right now. But they've been draining the reserves, going down. But Saudi Arabia has cut production of fuel because we're not going to be spending as much now. And also we got California mandating by 2030 all diesel trucks will be outlawed, which is going to make it very interesting. I don't know how we're going to get those shipping lanes taken care of. I'm thinking about cutting off California on my logistics company side because it just doesn't make sense anymore to make those runs in the future, especially since now you got a diesel fuel permit, you got extra taxes on it. It's just outrageous. It's like, well, shoot, leave those damn avocados there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what a lot of people are doing. How do you feel about electric cars, Salvatore? Would you ever buy a Tesla or an electric vehicle?
I can't. You know what? I can't say. I probably would. I do like Tesla. I like Tesla because I like Elon Musk's long term vision. But um, I can't say that because I did buy. I did put a deposit, and I'm waiting for my allocation from Rolls Royce on the Spectre. So that's a fully electric vehicle. But yeah, remember I'm in line after all the billionaires, after all the car enthusiasts. So I'm probably not going to get it for like I think 2.5 years.
Yeah.
But I did purchase my allocation spot at 4,332. So I got a ways to go.
hmm I can't wait to get to where you're at, man, one day. Like, I really look up to you. Like, the fact that I'm 22 and I'm doing this, I'm building myself up and already have a 5-figure net worth at 22. Like, the sky's the limit, guys. Like, it is. Like, it doesn't matter. And this is going to sound so corny, but it doesn't matter what situation you're in right now. You can get out of it. Like, there's ways to get out of it. Yeah, and it sucks. People talk shit. People are gonna make you feel like you're inadequate. People are gonna make you feel like you're not doing enough. And you know what's crazy? The caveat to that is if you are super rich, people are just kind of gonna call you an evil asshole. So if you're
Exactly.
poor, you say, oh man, I'm working 2 jobs. I don't want to go out every Friday night. You know, I want to stay at home. I want to save money. They're gonna be like, oh, you're poor. You need to get your money up. You need to get a skill. You need to do something with your life and stop working these low skill jobs. But yet when you become wealthy, people are gonna like, oh, you're a greedy asshole. You know, you really think
Mhm.
money is the answer to life. So when I was broke, you made fun of me for not being skilled enough, and you made fun of me for working a low skill job. But now that I'm successful, I'm a greedy, evil asshole. So that's why society just doesn't make sense. People are always gonna make you feel bad.
Exactly. And like I said, when you're broke, you don't work hard enough. When you're making 50,000, they're like, why aren't you making 100,000? When you make 100,000, why aren't you a millionaire yet? When you're a millionaire, why aren't you a billionaire? Then when you're a billionaire, it's like, why aren't you humble? Why aren't you donating? Why aren't you doing this? It's like, people will never be happy. So that's why you just gotta understand that you're doing stuff for yourself, not for other people, and even your own family is going to behave like that. Well, I wish I got lucky. And even when you have success, they're going to say, "Oh, you got lucky. You
Yeah,
got really lucky."
you know,
Go ahead,
I'm
good. I'm sorry.
my mom has already said, like, for example, people have this ego about working hard. Like, working hard is a great trait. Being a hard worker, that is so respectable. But a lot of people have this thing to where, for example, you invest in crypto, right? You get in early, you make a shit ton of money. People are like, oh, I didn't just invest in a crypto to become rich. I worked hard for my money. I worked hard for my money. And the way I see this, like, why does it matter what you do to get the wealth? I mean, do ethical things, granted, be ethical about your money making ways. But why do people have this ego to where, oh, I worked hard for my money? Oh, I didn't just invest in a crypto and made 100,000. I worked for my 100,000. I just find that shit so ridiculous. It's so stupid. Because I guarantee you, if they knew about the opportunity and they had a crystal ball and they knew they could make 100,000 off what you did, they would have got on it too.
Yep, they exactly would have. And, you know, that's just how people are. People are very like I've even seen it with my father, and I love my dad to death, but I've seen it with him and with Steve Jobs and Apple. Or not Steve Jobs and Apple, Bill Gates and Microsoft, because he was an Apple. My dad's an Apple fan, but he did not like Bill Gates. He did not like anything, and he thinks the entire investing world is a scam. Now, in his life and his age, he was able to, work as a teacher, save his money, do traditional investments, and get to a millionaire level. He got to about $3.5 million net worth, and then he also was able to get his pension, which now he's getting like $300,000 a year off of everything he's done. So it's just the way people see things sometimes. Shout out to Caddy. Thanks for all your comments. I usually listen to Pitbull on my AM hike, but kept you on the whole time. Hey, we appreciate that. And shout out my FIL hasn't talked to my husband in 13 years because we don't work. Exactly. I'm guessing you mean your family, but hey, sometimes it's that way. And if you're the wealthiest couple or person in your family, you're probably going to be the most isolated. And that's where it gets hard. That's why they say it's hard to be at the top, because the more intelligent you are, and the more money you make, the more isolated you're going to become.
The more
Okay,
intelligent you are,
okay, thanks
the
for that
more.
clarification. Go ahead, Cody. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, man. But the more intelligent you are, the more you'll see past. Here's the way I am. The more I learn about people, and I'm 22, I've learned so much about people throughout my life. But the more intelligent you are and the more you understand people, especially about women as well, like you understand how dating and you
Mhm.
understand how a lot of women and dating work, you understand that you can see the red flags. You can see people's attitudes. You can see their body language. You can see everything. So you want to stay away from them. Like I understand that's how I am, because the more successful I get, the more I can see through people. And I'm like, I don't want to be around you. I feel like I'm lowering myself being around you because I can sense your attitude. I can sense who you are. I know who you are.
Yeah, and that happens. And you might see your family in different lights. You might see a lot of different things, but you'll see people from different angles, especially if you're a single guy too out there, and you're starting to make your money and you're starting to build your wealth. You will see you will see a change in people around you. And same thing with single women. You're making a lot of money and you're starting your financial success. You'll see the changes in people around you, and you'll
Yes.
see how people change towards you. Shout out to Caddy. Cody, you're very insightful for such a young man. You you get it decades before most. Shout out to Blessings. G, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Daddy. I appreciate that, because I don't think I'm better. I don't think I'm smarter than anyone. That's not what I was trying to say, and you know what I was trying to say. But I just want to make that clear. I just, I just see past people. I understand human nature because I've been around people. People are so jealous, and people are so wishy-washy. They change tomorrow. Like you get
Exactly.
that bag, and they see qualities about you. And I know this because I had a friend who was jealous of me. I knew he was jealous of me because he would always say, Cody, I don't understand you. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, Cody, every time you say stuff, you always do it. You said you were going to get this car. You did it. You said you were going to do this. You did it. He said, I just want to know how you do that. And then 2 months later, he went up to a girl I was talking to, and I was not there. She was at a party with him. She said that he was giving vibes that he was just horny. Da da da. Anyway, he was talking shit about me, saying that, oh, Cody's a weirdo. He wants to. His photos look photoshopped. He's a weirdo. He's not a good person. And then she told me all about this, and I confronted him about it. And then he didn't want to take accountability. He was like, "Ah, Cody, let's stop this. You know I love you, man. Like, Cody, you know I would never do that." And I saw past it because she gave me proof. And I just cut him off. And other people told me that he was very jealous of me. Like he would always talk about, how he wishes he could do things I did, but yet he talked shit on me.
Yeah, and that happens to myself and my brother, and I've seen it happen to my parents too. Where with the success and the people around them, it's like you gotta understand that when people start seeing you having success off your hard work, they do get jealous of it, and then they do what they're saying is just really you're you're not showing the reflection in them. You're not validating their laziness. You're showing that yes, you can make it with hard work and determination, and that no matter what, you're going to get to your goal and most people, it is human nature. Most people are going to be lazy and not take the hardest path. They're going to take the easiest path. And you just got to understand it with a grain of salt that people's opinions of you are going to change, and and you just got to say that's okay. It's just going to happen. But with that said, I do have to get going. I have a lot of leads I got to call for my moving side. But if you guys would like to support the moving side and the detail shop, the link to the Facebook pages and the YouTube pages are in the description on YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and I put the links in my TikTok bio here, so if you can go right there and like them. With that said, really appreciate all your guys' support. I don't really have any final thoughts today, other than just watch out for what the news coming. We're going to get a lot of negative sentiment in the market. So you want to make sure either you wait to dollar cost average in, or wait till we get that bottom. And with crypto, it's going to be the first one to react. So I expect to see if the job claims comes out too low, then what's going to happen is we're going to have a rise, and then the interest rate's they're going to raise the interest rate, and then we're going to have a 15% dump. If the job claims come in too high, like I would say, like if it comes in like 4 or 5 or 6%, or they just come in like let's just say if I think last month was like 300,000. If it increases to 1,000,000, then we are headed in the right direction, but the markets aren't going to think that right away, so they're going to drop probably 10%. Cody, do you have any final thoughts before we head out of here?
Sorry about that. Pretty much just watch out for jealous people. You don't, and when you do see them, you can't not see those people, because that's not how life works. Just take it with a grain of salt. Understand that what you're doing, it provokes them, because like Sal said, if you're friends with somebody, you're a reflection of them and they're a reflection of you. But if you're outshining them, they're like, wait a minute, I thought we were just alike. Like, you're doing better than me. We're not just alike. Like, what? And then it causes them to resent. And also, just how I said, watch out for fake friends, watch out for scams, watch out for rug pulls. Anybody promising anything, anybody talking about high APYs, anybody that has Ponzonomics, they don't have a huge social media presence, or if they do, they're sketchy social media presence. Just watch out for it all. Mainly buy the blue chips, buy some Bitcoin, buy some Ethereum, do what your income allows you to do. But understand that if you are investing in an altcoin, make sure it's a good altcoin, because the altcoin market, the sentiment around the altcoin market isn't that confident, but there are good altcoins out there. So,
absolutely. And shout out to Lisa Love. That's a pretty cool name. Shout out to you. Thanks for the follow. Blessings. Who's talking? That is Cody, the other half of Simply Investing, and we are on Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. for Crypto Morning Chat, and Sunday 8:30 to 9 a.m. Central Time, of course, for What's in Your Portfolio. And of course, Wednesday night we always do a fun stream about talking about any of the scams or potential scams, or looking up some scammy stuff in investing arena, things like that. But thank you guys. We're coming towards the end here. I do want to say like and subscribe, share us. If you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, you can click the link in my TikTok bio. It should be the YouTube link right there. And shout out to Blessings. Do you know of a good cold wallet? Cody and I use Nano Ledger X. I also use Arculus. That's also a very good one. But we actually have a whole live where we talked about that a few days ago. So if you want to go to YouTube or Rumble, you could hit that replay and see which ones we liked. So definitely give that there. But shout out for your comment there, Blessings. Glad to have you in here. Also, if you guys want to join the Patreon, there is some cool stuff coming. Today I'm going to upload some videos there to they'll post on YouTube, but you got about a couple of weeks. So we got the Radix token, we got Render token, we got full deep dive analysis on those tokens. They're going to be coming up. They're going to post to the Patreon, and then they'll post to YouTube. So you'll get the preview first on Patreon, as well as you get linked to the Discord, where we chat about investments and our opinions back and forth, but we just want to keep it clean in there. Also, You will get access to exclusive interviews. I do have 2 people I'm going to be interviewing about business one in August and one in September, and those videos will only be on Patreon. So if you want to see those, and they're people from my network and people I met while networking and building up my moving company. And if you guys want to support, like, and subscribe to those channels, I have the links in the YouTube bio. When you guys go over to YouTube, it's definitely in there. If you want to give those a shout out and a link and support those channels, that'd be really, really helpful to help get our name out there. Really appreciate it. With that said, guys, thank you guys. Thank you for all your support. We had a lot of you in here. You guys definitely had a lot of good questions. This is a little shorter than our normal stream. But with that said, thank you guys. Love your support. Remember, respect the process, do your own research, and never invest in any more than what you can afford to lose. With that said, have a wonderful day. We will see you guys tomorrow.